Alright folks, Pitching Ace Idiot, we are back playing Criminal Case on Facebook. Let's head on to chapter number 2. Let's review the situation. Ace, a man set up an ambush to derail a train and steal its cargo full of gold, only to be later shot to death with arrows. And we have a bunch of suspects, and they found the shack. So let's head over to the shack. I think, if I'm going to guess who did it, it's someone that we haven't met yet. I definitely don't think Seamus is going to be the guy. Oh, there's a bow, which is the murder weapon, obviously. I just don't see where it is. Accordion, wooden spoon, candelabra. Right there, and then where's the bow? Aha. £6 per month. Might need to get you on the next Twitch stream then, Bonnie. It appears that the killer also found this hideout. This bow is clearly a murder weapon. The substance on the handle of the bow, a collection of the sample would be most helpful, I agree. Perhaps the killer also left something in the box of sundries. A rummage around could unveil a clue. We know that both the victim and the killer came to this hideout, so there's bound to be a serious lead here. Hey, Nat. We know that Seamus O'Neill is one. The train driver, who's new, we haven't met her before. I see found a newspaper clipping that jumble of sundries. It wants people to be aware of an authentic frontier drunken madman. Why would someone keep a newspaper clipping like that? Is the man from this clipping living here? Who could he be? There's only one way to be sure, I agree. We must compare his face for files on the airship. And I forget who the third one is. Sugar detox. That's a good idea. I don't have caffeine, but that's something I've done for a while. Well, one perfect sample of that substance could not have been taken from the murder weapon. Ace, if I would want to have a look at it at once. Gibby Hayes. Well, this so-called authentic frontier drunken madman is a certain Gibby Hayes. It says they used to be an innkeeper near the docks, but then he got gold fever and left for Coyote Gorge about 10 years ago. Considering we found this newspaper clipping in the hideout, Mr. Hayes might know something about our victim's trip there. I agree, let's just hope he's not too drunk or too wild to answer our questions. Oh, and then I forgot, Dorothy McBain's also is a suspect. Mr. Hayes, we found this newspaper article about you, and hooey, I'm famous now. Look at here, you even found my house. Wait, so this this home is yours? Sure enough it is. Though I do have many visitors, people are always in and out of here. I do try to make it hospitable. Hey, y'all want some of my cactus moonshine? It goes great with my beans. Had them cooking on the stove for days. I can add a little prairie dog to them if you want. Shot my last one with a bow and arrow at 100 yards, and I was skunk as a drunk. Ugh, eating prairie dog? No thank you, Mr. Hayes. You say you have many visitors? Have any of them been from Sinner's End? Well, there was this one fella, Danny something. Barely saw him much, though. That darn rich rat left a heap of gold here and then never came back. I don't believe you'll be returning for Mr. Hayes. Do stay close to your home, will you? We may need to drop by again. Yeah, if you're speaking order, that doesn't matter. So I looked at the substance you collected from the bow, Ace. It was something I didn't expect to find in Coyote Gorge. Of course, in the city, the more dapper sort of person is sure to glean from top to bottom, but out here in the Wild East, it didn't make sense to me. What made no sense to you, Viola? Well, the substance the killer left on their bow was a sort of oil treatment for cowboy boots. I didn't think keeping your boots shiny in a dusty place would be anyone's priority, but it seems to be common practice. Ah, so the killer wears cowboy boots, eh? Well, they'll be quaking in those very boots when Ace catches up with them. Good point, Ace. Since we know the victim took gold from the train, we may catch the killer more quickly if we take a little look at the training car. Yeah. Anyone can add me to Facebook, I don't mind. Just give me a heads up. Animal skull. Oh, interesting. That's actually a clue. Statue. Oh, wow. Statue of David. Interesting. Yeah, it's actually a clue. Threw me off a little bit. The train car must have shifted, otherwise you would have already found this replica of Michelangelo's David. What on earth is it doing here? I see something was engraved on the base, but I can't make it out. Perhaps you could try, Ace. Something was written on this cow skull, but I have no clue what. Your testing kit will elucidate the matter, I'm quite sure. And as for this locked journal, your considerable skills will get us to the contents in no time at all. I agree. I agree. Ah, no problem, chocolate. This could be a serial number on the statue. Maybe it will help us know for sure. Wow. Look what's written on that cow skull. Dottie, I'll have your hide. Declared threat from our victim is made to a certain Dottie. You're right, Ace. Dottie is short for Dorothy, and Dorothy McBain's mind was the provenance of all the gold on the train. You probably went for Mrs. McBain to find this threat after he'd taken all of her gold. I bet there's more to this threat than meets the eye, Ace, and Dorothy McBain had better tell us about it. Not shocked. Not shocked at all. What? Ah. So stupid. Well, I make a lot of dad jokes all the time. I'm very silly. Well, that drawer belongs to Erica Dupree. That is a fancy diary for a train driver. She did seem worked up when she wrote this entry. No one will stop my train or my name isn't Erica Dupree. That statement makes the man who tried to stop her train a target. Let's ask Miss Dupree for some clarification. Thanks for following, Dizzy. Miss McBain, since your brace discovered a threat the victim left for you on the train, he mentioned he would have your hide. Oh, yet another threat, huh? Well, I get a dozen a day. Remember the convicts work in my mind. Threats are an occupational hazard. Well, they don't get that I'm a simple gal at heart. I'm more like them than they know. I eat beans for dinner, and I put my cowboy boots on one at a time. Heck, I even take care of pest control in the mines myself with my own dang bow and arrow. And we haven't seen a rat in the mines for 1 month now. And was Danny Dallas ever one of the convicts who so woefully failed to understand you? He might have been. How the heck should I know? All I know is he sure sounds like a vermin to me. Well, very well. Let's hope for your sake that none of your arrows found its way into the victim's body. Yeah, I get away with them because I am a dad, but I will say that when your kids aren't around, you don't have as much of an opportunity to say those little dad jokes. So I'll say them to the missus, but you know, can't embarrass the kids. Mr. Prue, we found your journal on the train, and we read that. What right do you have to read people's private musing? You ought to be ashamed. It was all part of our investigation into the murder of Danny Dallas, Mr. Prue. You wrote that no one will stop your train. See, True Brace, this train is my life. It's the very pride of my being. Driving the train was my way out of Sinner's End. When my uncle and auntie kicked me out of their house, the only place left for me was one of the brothels. But I broke free and came out east to live by my own rules under a great big sky. And I don't care if I have to eat beans for the rest of my life out here. I will never go back to being a whore. And I'll be darned if a train robber or anyone else will keep me from driving this here train. That is motive. Daedalus. Daedalus. Okay, that's helpful. Hello, Ace. When I tell you which paradigm of sophistication owns this pale imitation of a classic work of art, you will not at all be surprised. The number you found on the statue was indeed a serial number, and I traced it to an auction house in Concordia. The auction house had the courtesy to inform me that the statue was sold to Vittorio Capecci. Huh. The statue does have all the signs of a classy Vittorio Capecci. Ace, it seems we have finally a reason to talk to Mr. Capecci. There are many questions I'd like to ask him, but I know we will have to focus on Danny's murder for now. Oh, brother. He's back. He's back. Mr. Capecci, we have the duty to inform you that a train carrying some of your belongings was derailed and robbed. Who would dare rob a train in my territory? What could have been on that train anyways? I already received my cowboy boots. Well, we aren't sure what may have been taken, but we did find your statue of David. Oh, that thing. I got it from my wife. She insists on having some of Italy out here in the west. Or the east. Though, to tell you the truth, I prefer ranch-style beans to her ganache. Ganache. At least beans help my digestion. TMI, TMI. Still, I don't like this robbery. It makes the Italians look weak in our own territory. I'll find the guy who did this. The man is already dead, which is how you tend to solve your problems, isn't it? Such as when farmers refuse to vacate their lands. I have no idea what you're talking about. Unless you have a written testimony, I suggest you take care not to accuse me further. What's up, Rares? I haven't seen you in a while. Ace, it would appear that more than one person had reason to hunt down Danny Daedalus. But who really did it? Well, it seems once again that Mr. Pree has the strongest motive. Danny Daedalus caused her to derail a train which could lead her to losing her job as a train driver. What's up, Rose? Liliana? But the presence of Vittorio Capecci's belonging on that train changes the matter substantially. He does not look to look weak, especially in his own territory. I'll blast the flattery absence. Race, come quick, I need your help. There's some Italian fella in my home, and I'm being invaded, god darn it. It's hilarious. Alright guys, see you guys in chapter 2. We should have a guess at that point. This has been Pitching He's 8. Over now.